are at factoring. We're looking at factoring with a number in front of x squared. So we're going to start right here with 2w squared plus 7w plus 3. All right. So I'm going to do this both ways. Some of you guys like foiling. Some of you like the box. So I'm going to start with the box. Okay, you guys help me out. What goes in my upper left-hand corner? What goes in my lower right-hand corner?
3.
Does everybody think they could do that much on their own?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Good so far. Okay.
Which one is this for foiling?
So for foiling, it would be like this. You
Oh,
would
see.
have, yeah,
Oh.
you wouldn't do anything so far. All right, what two numbers multiply to give you 3? 1 and 3. So my multiples of 3 are 1 and 3. What are my multiples of 2? 1 and 2. Okay. Now we get that one of these is 2w and one of these is w, correct?
Yes.
Everybody's okay with that? I want to stop. Shh. We're okay with that. The only multiples of 2 we have is 1 times 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of them has to be 2w, one of them has to be 1w to get 2w squared. So far, so good? Okay. We know that one of these is 1 and one of these is 3. But we know one of them will be multiplied by 2. Okay? We want, when these two boxes are added together, we want to get 7w. Okay? So what am I multiplying 2 by?
3.
So I multiply 2 by 3
Why?
because that gives me 6w. And when I multiply 1 times w, I get 1w, correct? What's 1 plus 6?
7.
Okay. So I have 2w plus 1 times w plus 3 is my answer.
Why didn't you?
Oh.
Why did you do the 1 and the 3? Why not the 1 and the 2? I don't know.
Okay. So we get, right guys, wait, let's back up. We get that these two boxes, when I add them together, have to give me 7, correct? We know that whatever I put in this box right here, I had to multiply by 2, right? So if I put 1 here, what's 2 times 1?
2.
So this would be 2w, and if there's a 3 here, this would be 3w. Do you guys get that 2w and 3w does not equal 7w? So that is not an option.
Why can't you put the 2w on top?
You could have. I could have put the 2w here, but then the 3 would have had to go down. Okay. You ready for number 2? What do I start with, guys? Let's talk about this step by step. What's the first thing you want to do? The box. 3y squared goes here. 2 goes here, correct? What are the multiples of 3? Is there any others? Okay, so I'm going to make one of these. I'm going to make this one y and this one 3y. Does it matter which one I choose to put where? Not at this point. This is fine. Do we get that these two boxes I'm highlighting in yellow, when I add them up, has to equal 5y? Yeah, so far so good? Okay. So, I know that the only multiples I have of 2 are what?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Do you guys get that one of them has to be multiplied by 3?
Yes.
Okay. See this 3 right here? Whatever goes in this box, had been multiplied by 3. I want it to add up to 5. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 gives me 5, right? Okay, what if I had multiplied it by 2? What would I get?
6.
And 6 plus 1 is?
7.
So that wouldn't work, right?
You could minus 1.
But both of these are positive, so it must mean I have 2 positive answers. Okay, so I'm going to put the 1 here, and I'm going to put the 2 here. So I get 2y, and I get 3y. So that gives me 3y plus 2 times y plus 1. Do you want to try one on your own, or you want me to do at least one more? One more?
With these, since the one is negative, what do you do about that?
Okay, let's talk about
For
that.
foiling terms.
Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to do is make my box. I know not all of you like boxes, but the majority, I would say, who'd rather do the box than anything else? Okay. No. So, those of you who don't like the box, that's fine, but the majority of the class does. You can do it your own way. That's totally fine. Okay? So right here is negative 1. Right here is 2b squared. We're all okay with that so far. Okay? What are the multiples of 2? 1 and 2. Are there any others? So it has to be 2 and 1 right here, right? Does it matter right this second which way I put 2b or 1b? No. Okay. We get, right, that the ones in yellow have to add up to 1, positive 1, correct? Okay? Now we get, what are the multiples of negative 1? 1 and negative 1. 1 has to be positive, 1 has to be negative, correct? Okay. Which one do I want to be times by 2? Positive 1 or negative 1?
Positive.
You want it to be positive 1. Well, because if I times this by 2, I get 1 plus negative 2, which gives me a negative 1, which is not that answer. But if I times it by this one, I get 2 plus negative 1, which gives me a positive 1, which is that answer. Okay? So I'm going to go at 2b, negative 1b, and when I add them together, I get my answer. So it's 2b minus 1, b plus 1. Okay? Why don't you guys try number 4? At least go as far as you can. Okay? I know you can set up the box and put at least 2 things out.
I want to get ahead. What?
We'll ignore the 0.
Okay, so just cross out the
Yeah,
equals.
cross out the equal 0. Try that box, guys.
So we know this is 2 squared, we know this is negative 5, right? The only multiples of 2 are 1 and 2, so you have those 5. Okay? Now the problem is the only multiples we have are 1 and 5, but we have negative 1 and positive 5, so we have positive 1 and negative 5, correct? Okay. Which one are we going to multiply by 2? So when we add them together, we get positive 9. So let's just try it. If you don't know, just try it. Let's try this one. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. 9 times 5 is 45. Is that going to give you a positive? So, excuse me, 1 times 5 is 5. That's going to give you a positive 3, right? So let's switch. Times this one. That's going to work. So let's do 2 times 5 is 10. Plus a negative 1. Does that give you a positive 9? Yeah. So this 5 right here has to be times by that 2. So we have to have a positive 5. Sorry, we're so close, you just had your positive and negative. So you're getting it, Caleb. I know you don't feel like it, but you are.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this. Do you guys feel like you have the answer?
Yes.
Before we start,
I will wait another minute.
What's with the solution sign? Oh,
That's
no.
if you use 0.
Cross that off too.
Is it true you need to write a slash in your Z or it becomes a 2?
No, but you can do it that way. way so it's more legible. All right, guys, let's do this. We built our box. We have 2z squared right here. We have -5 right here. I know one of these has to be 2z and one of them has to be 1z. Does it matter if your 2 is on top? No. Okay. What are the multiples of -5? -1 and 5 or 1 and -5, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to multiply one of them by 2. If I multiply 5 times 2, I get 10. 10 plus -1 gives me positive 9. 9. So we want to make sure my negative goes with my 1, and the 2 gets timed by 5. So I get 10z, and I get -1z. So my factored form is z plus 5, 2z minus 1. Okay. I say we should stop right now so you guys can work on your homework. Okay? There are more examples on here, so if you're having trouble, I will make an answer key for this so you can look at them.
Just to clarify, if you don't, doesn't matter which order.
No. But you should do your homework right now to give you some practice. Again, I strongly recommend you reading the directions. And remember, if it's a greatest common factor, taking that out first. Okay?